Hi, this is Damon Pistolka, host of The Faces of Business, where I talk with interesting people, sharing life and business experiences to entertain, engage, build community, and provide information to help others succeed. If you're interested in learning more about one of our guests or how we are helping business owners generate wealth and build businesses they can sell or succeed at Exit Your Way, you can find more information on our website, exityourway.com, or by contacting me directly, Damon at exityourway.com. I hope you enjoy the show. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to the Faces of Business. I am your host, Damon Pistolka, and I am extremely excited today because I have none other than Veronica Lee Jeans, Shopify expert. Some would even say the Shopify Queen. Veronica, thanks for being here today.
It's an absolute pleasure. I love coming on to your show. It is very exciting. We have so much to talk about. I'm like, can't wait.
No doubt. And you brought it up there. You are a repeat offender. I mean, it's great to have you back. And I agree. There is so much changing. But as we always like to start out the show, tell us a bit about yourself. Start back and kind of give us the history of how you got into e-commerce and Shopify and all this good stuff so people can get a flavor of who we're talking with today.
Well, firstly, I'm from Africa and Namibia, not South Africa, but Namibia, born and bred, lived a little bit in South Africa, collected a husband and 2 children, and then moved to Holland, supposedly for 6 months, and we got stuck for 8 years. It was fabulous. And then my husband said to me, hey, do you want to, he had a couple of contracts here, and it was raining and it's snowing and the wind, and it was miserable. And he had another offer, and I said to him, how do you feel? He says, I'll move in a heartbeat. I go, let's pack, baby. We are moving to America. And believe me, this is the last thing I expected. Moving forward, several businesses. I've had so many careers. I can write a very, very thick book. But I had a recruiting company, very successful recruiting company, 2008, big crash. Everything happened and I gave it up. I actually crashed the company. And all my contractors went back to Verizon, was one of my largest clients, had a fabulous time. And I then turned around and I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? This is like new career, right? What do you do? Huge opportunity. So I decided I'm going to sell something online. And this was pre-e-commerce excitement, right? This was the big brands were not online yet at this stage, only small businesses. So I happened to talk to a sales guy at one of the shopping platforms. And, I've got so much I'm a certified Microsoft systems engineer, one of my careers. And one of the school teachers said to me, hey, you know websites? Teach the children. I go, no, I can fix your computer. I can't do websites. And I did one of those, how to set up your website in 24 hours. Took me a week, but I managed and I taught them. But anyway, moving forward again, I thought, I've got this knowledge, and he started sending me customers. This was so sweet. I mean, it's like you sit there and you go, I've got my computer up, and he goes, hey, can you help this customer? Hey, can you help this customer? And I go, this is fabulous. Anyway, that's how I got into the e-commerce side. Instead of selling something, I started helping people. But also, again, I've got all this business experience from all over the place. And I was looking for a shopping platform that had an international reach. And Shopify was the first shopping platform that you could get a credit card company or a payment provider, international payment provider. And specifically in South Africa, which was majorly difficult compared to Europe or anywhere else, or Canada or anywhere else, right? So, and that's how I discovered Shopify. I just fell in love because it was so easy compared to the other shopping platforms. It was so easy to set things up, to actually do something. And one of the things that I was really excited about is how well, I'm not really that excited since I write the books, but how progressive they are or aggressive they are in actually listening to customers and their Shopify partners to actually implement stuff. So it it happens a little bit fast. Like you go,
Mm-hmm.
oh wow, they're doing what? But they do listen. And as I said, I write the books and I have to update them approximately every 3 months. I'm lasting now 6 months. But and with everything around us changing so much, Facebook, Instagram, we've got TikTok, which might disappear, who knows? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Google is just killing us right now. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just those major updates and everything, and they, AI is this, the algorithms. Amazon is part of it. So to be a business on your own is so challenging these days that it is just very difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. So you mentioned your books a little bit. Tell us about the books, the series of books you've written about Shopify.
well, I started because I got tired of talking about the same thing over and over again. So I
Yep.
just I just jumped into it. I didn't know how to write them. I didn't know how to write whatever. I just went boom, baby. And I didn't have an editor, by the way. So I relied on Grammarly. And I didn't realize that Grammarly changes the structure of sentences. I got this really bad review. This guy said, and I'm still remember it, my first book, 2021, he said, this is a really good book, but the grammar is terrible. But anyway, I've learned a lot since then. I've had an editor. And so what I do is I write a totally step for step, easy to follow, how to set up your store. And not obviously Shopify, but
Mm-hmm.
not just that. I put in all my experience from, e-commerce and domains and barcodes, how you get barcodes and everything around what you have to do in business. And so I do a lot of um, pro tips, but literally if you follow my steps. So here's what I found. One of my clients, she popped in about last year, halfway through last year, probably June, July. We were working away. And so she said, you know how I started my Shopify store? She's very, very big on Etsy. She had one of my workbooks, which is like the plainest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just check them off and do it, right? She says, this is what I bought and how I set up my Shopify store. so, so the abbreviated version works as well. But I'm a very much because I've got customers that have no technology experience. They
Yeah.
have no idea about online.
Mm-hmm.
They come up with questions. Does Shopify pay my tax? No, this is not Amazon. This is Shopify. This is a shopping platform. Um, you know, how do I create an order? Where do my customers come from? All those very, very simple things. A guy called me today, says, okay, I've got these payments into my bank account, but they didn't really make sense. Because so I said, well, Shopify actually pay you in bunches. So if you get a whole bunch of orders, boom, it moves into your account. So it's those little things that people don't realize that they need to do. Last
Yeah.
what this year, one of my clients called me. She said, you know what? She texted me. She said, there's another website that has cloned all of my products. Every single product she has got about 6,000, 6,500 line items, which is obviously, extra large, kids
Yeah.
kids clothes. They cloned everything, including the shipping insurance. So it's a cloned website. They offer 50% discount. You don't get the products, but they get your credit card. So what they did is they registered her domain name with .shop extension. And there's nothing you can do, right? They own the domain name.
Yeah.
So So we send a big newsletter out to all the customers saying, this is what's happening, please, please. And she found out from another customer that bought something on there and said, oh, you're offering 50%. She goes, I don't offer 50%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens. Those little things to protect yourself is a lot of times when that's where my expertise comes in, right?
Yeah.
Those little things to protect yourself.
Well, and you mentioned one that I think is like makes people shudder when you think about it being e-commerce, and that's sales tax, right?
Ooh.
It's like since that changed, when I was at
Yes.
3, 4, 5 years ago when that changed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a whole nother realm for people. And you think about, you may have nexus in states that you don't even know that you have nexus in, and they can come and want their sales tax about whenever they feel like it.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that comes up a lot. But then you look at, if you have your own Shopify site or any other site, it's, fraud is a huge thing. And just like you said, protecting other similar domains.
Yes.
I mean, even our company, we've got a lot of weird domains that we own,
Mm-hmm.
just to try to do that, to try
Mm-hmm.
to do it. Well, you if you're not in it before, you don't even think about doing those things.
Yeah. So I've had one of my old clients. In 2000, I set up my first store on Yahoo Shops, and believe me, this 2000, right? This is like
nice
pre-e-commerce, and I had to code every single product by hand manually. Yep. 3,694 products or 96 products, screws and poles and everything. He was a flag seller.
Okay.
A guy, he had a warehouse and everything. So his website was a singular, like flags and flagpole.com. A guy in Florida registered flag and flagpoles.com, started selling flags, never mind the pole part, but just the flags. He made $1.5 million, where this guy was making $3 million with all the overheads. That's how scary it is, because and everything is fair in love and business, right? So one of my little weak clients, I won't mention who she is, she registered one of her competitors' domains that they forgot to register, the plural. She actually got customers from them. So if this was reversed, this could happen to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of nuances that you have to think about. And you're talking about sales tax. It is scary how little people know about business. Right? So one guy said I said, do you have a sales tax certificate? He goes, what's that? I said, well, never mind paying in your state that we've got Nexus. Well, you are doing, he was doing drop shipping, the merch thing that everybody's into, so easy to get into and everything. Now you have to be sure that you know where it's shipping from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's your Nexus as well. So, and people go, I have to do what? And I go, oh yes, you've got to be so careful right now when you're doing drop shipping. And it used to be such an easy entry point, right? Oh yes, I can do this, and I'll drop ship from here, and I'll be selling all this other stuff. It's a total different ball game now. And the states are, I would say, in the last year, 2 years, the states have become so much more aggressive to what are they doing. All they have to do is check on websites, right? And make sure, there's so many ways to find out where you're shipping from. And all they have to do is just look at the websites, and obviously they're going for the big websites, but they will start catching the little ones as well. It is going to happen. Definitely going to start happening.
Yeah.
And don't get into trouble for $5. For goodness sake,
Yeah. That's That's an understanding the nexus too, because there are usually limits to how much business you have to do in a region. But when you look at some of these states like a New York or a California, where you're this zip code where you ship into is different from the zip code beside it. I mean, this is a significant thing when you start to scale a business, and that's also why the rise of so many companies that can help with the sales tax.
There's always business, right? But also, if you say, for instance, if you start a business wherever you are, and so you have nexus in, say, Nevada, right? And then you are drop shipping, or your products are being shipped out of Florida, you have to have a sales certificate for Florida as well. So people in Florida have to pay sales tax, right? And with my language, I keep saying to people, you've got to pay the taxes. And I go, okay, you're not paying the taxes. Your customer's paying the taxes. It's just a flow through for you, right? But it is your responsibility.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think this really shakes the tree a little bit. It's like a recession. Shakes the tree a little bit, gets those little small companies disappearing, or the bad companies disappearing because they don't have overviews or whatever. And so it gives other people more opportunities that really want to create a good business.
Yeah. So we kind of got down the rabbit hole a little bit there, but and it's great because I think people looking at and thinking about e-commerce, especially B2C e-commerce, I mean, this is one of the things that's really changed a lot. But as we look at this and you look at over the past few years, do you think that while there's some of it's gotten difficult, some of it has gotten a lot easier for people to get into e-commerce?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I had this conversation with my mom. She started a business. She was 60 years old, finished with the bank. That she's 88 right now. So that was 28 years ago. When she started a business, she needed a bank loan. She needed to make sure she has collateral and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you start a business, you can open a store and off you go, right? It is literally up to you how much business you can do just by being on social. I mean, I have a cigar guy that sells more on Instagram than on his website. That's how he started, right? And so, because, nobody likes cigars, and, he has a huge handicap. But that's just shows you how easy. People literally Venmo him the money for an order. That's how easy it is to make money online, right?
Yeah.
Don't you love it? He goes, he's driving me nuts. I've got all these little pieces of paper. I said, don't worry about it. We'll automate it for you. But this is how easy it is to actually do something online these days compared to 28 years when my mom started. So, I mean, it is easier and also more difficult because everybody goes, yes, I'm here. I'm selling. When are the sales coming in? So that doesn't change, right?
Yeah.
It's the effort you have to put in to run a business and to make sure that you can actually get some sales. Nothing happens overnight. And so one of the big things as well, what I find with say, for instance, with somebody that has a corporate job that wants to do something on the side and they can't really be online to do anything, super, super difficult. That takes twice as long, right? Because I think, and let's talk about the big elephant in the room, AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with AI. I mean, it's already happening that people have to be online. Your customer has to know you, love you, know you, and they'll buy from you, all that good stuff, especially if you're a small business. But now with AI, I think it's going to become even more difficult to get going than what it did before, because so much of it is a little bit fake and also a little bit too easy. And then Google, gotta love Google, right? Google is my other big elephant. Well, it's actually a giraffe. You call it
Yeah.
giraffes since I'm from Africa. They are the guys that are going to go, okay, we've got AI, but if you put all this junk out there, I'll cut you off at the D's, right? And there are. I've actually looked at some websites that are de-indexed. I've never heard of a website being de-indexed, which is
Yeah.
boom, they're offline, right? It's the same thing with if you tick off, sorry, tick off Facebook, Instagram, Etsy. I've had clients, some instances where somebody said to me, she was doing a consulting out 2 hours with me, and her business got shut down overnight. I don't know what she did. I forgot what she did, but her business got shut down overnight. $150,000 a year business. Her daughter's business got shut down because her daughter was her admin. And so here's another example. Amazon, boom, down. One of my acquaintances is the Amazon guru. I mean, what she doesn't know about Amazon is amazing. So one of the client that we're working on, his account got closed down because one of her clients, but she runs four businesses on Amazon, one of her clients forgot to update their trademark.
Oh, yeah.
All four got shut down. We have been in Amazon jail for a year. She literally had to go to Amazon lawyers, not the Amazon lawyers from Amazon, but Amazon lawyers that know about Amazon, to actually get this resolved, because you can't talk to anybody, right? It's just,
No.
they're not interested. So that's the scary part, right? That's the scary part. But if you got your own website and you can still sell on your website, even if you shut down somewhere, at least you got, as we said, your own nexus, right? Your own little business. It's like having your own little shop where you're paying rent, and they can kick you out, but not likely, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I've seen over the thing that's been super cool about being in e-commerce the last, I don't know, 5-6 years that I have been.
Yeah.
You can see these little neighborhood shops that wouldn't be in business if they didn't have an e-commerce store now. And they're thriving. You look at it and you go, why is this little shop thriving like this? And you go, there's customers in the store, but it's not packed out the door every day. But what you don't see is that they're doubling their business coming out the front door with the business that's going out the back door.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not online today, you are leaving not even just money on the table, heaps of money on the table. I mean, imagine, so when I came to America, the first thing in my head was, oh my Lord, there's 350 million people I can sell stuff to. This is fabulous. Having lived in Holland, 16 million people, there are 2 million people in Namibia, so it's very difficult. There are about 40, 50 million people in the whole of South Africa, right? So coming to this year is like, oh yes, what I have to sell something. I have to sell something. And that's the whole point. You don't have to even sell overseas, international, because, I mean, if think about Houston. In Houston and surrounding areas, 7+ million people. So I don't even have to go outside Houston to sell. That's amazing, right? So it is if you run it the right way, and you persist, right? This is the thing, as I keep saying to people. You don't start a business just to go, well, after a year, maybe I can do something else. What's there else to do? You're in business to tough it out, right? We know it's going to take time, and that's never changed, whether it's been an online or offline. Being in front of people has not changed. Business 101 has not changed, right? It's not even faster. People think it's faster. It's not faster. Because you still have to go to the events, right? You still have to pitch up online. You still have to go and schmooze with the people that you know around the corner, or the local people. And a lot of e-commerce people tend to forget the local communities where they can literally get their ambassadors from, right? I mean, this is what anyway, both of us, I'm sure, since my gray hair is all covered up, but but you know that I used to be another queen, like the networking queen. Everybody thought I knew everybody because I was at breakfasts and lunches and wine
Mm-hmm.
things and networking and events and conventions and whatever. And so that's the only way that you could find business is by going out and being everywhere. And it's the same thing that you have to be online. You have to be online and tell your story, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And building that community, whether it's across the parking lot, down the street, or across the globe, or even across the United States in this case, that's really how you build that business
Yes,
over time. Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
and when I look at some of these things, and you see some of these people say, "Oh, it's easy. You can just start it up and start going." It's like it takes a bit more work than that, but like you said, if you persist, there's some
Yes,
really interesting things
yes,
that you can do. It comes back again to, I love how it has reinvigorated some of these small communities, because these stores
unbelievable.
they can thrive. They're in their community. They didn't have to move to, say, to Houston or someplace like that, where you have a huge
Yes,
population center,
yes.
and they can be good. I mean, for me, there's one I'd like to talk about a lot, and not that I drink excessively that much, but there's a liquor store that's out on the peninsula here, because I'm north of Seattle. It's out on the peninsula in a small town. This liquor store is one like I've never seen in my life anywhere, because they sell twice as much out the back door through e-commerce as they do out the front door with people coming and buying. But if you want to go find a special tequila or vodka or beer, wine, whatever that you want, they've got a 3,000 square foot wine cellar. They got what you need. You can find it there because it is so popular online that they have built this, just, I mean, you just go in, it's like the Taj Mahal of places to find your favorite booze.
Yeah.
So,
It's the
and
same thing with my cigar guy. I mean, he's somewhere in Massachusetts, in the tiny little town, has a little cigar shop, and this is what he started. He said he should have had his head read because he didn't. He thought it was a good idea, but again, it is. You can be in this little town and sell stuff. Sell,
yeah,
make more money. I've got this one really successful story. Is one of the guys I met with the first shopping platform I was on. He had a when you have the fish tanks and all of that. He sold everything to do with fish, but not the actual fish. And so he said he was paying $1,600. That was like 10 years ago. $1,600 for rent, maybe 15 years ago. And he was paying, people. All his businesses just coming in and out of the
mm-hmm.
retail store. He started online, and he said he was making as much online as what he's making in his business. Plus, he didn't have a $1,600 rent.
Yeah,
So he actually expanded. It just happened to one of his distributors said, we're selling this O-ring for pipes and stuff. And his distributor said, no, I only make $1 or whatever from this. I'm not going to sell it anymore. He says, do you mind if I contact the manufacturer? And he says, be my guest. He retired, bought a house cash in Florida, and is fishing right now. So you got to love it. But I
yeah,
mean, when I knew him, he was packing a lot of little things of, the
oh
O-rings,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and truth be told, the Mariana thing, the weed thing started as well then, and it
yeah,
became. So he was in the right place at the right time, selling the
yeah,
right product, right?
yeah. And it's interesting though how these businesses have been able to change and adapt using e-commerce in the B2C, because it really has expanded markets for them. I want real quick, though, I want to say hello. Thank you, Dr. New. Thanks for being here today. And Paul, thanks for stopping by. It's a great show. It's always cool talking with Veronica, that's for sure. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. AI.
Oh yes.
What the heck do we have here?
I tell you something, I've got a love affair with AI. He's the greatest guy in the world. My husband is jealous, right? Super jealous. Because I can't stop talking about him. Anyway, so AI, yes, AI. AI is just, it's fabulous. All I can say, it is fabulous for all the stuff that you have to do for your business, especially as a small business. You know, you have to be social, you have to write blogs, you have to write product descriptions, you have to be fresh online. It makes your work that took 10, 15, 20 hours into maybe a 5 hour situation, right? Where you can quickly crank stuff out and even sound very intelligent, right? It's like, what the hell is this woman writing? But and so for me, I mean, on the back end of e-commerce, the product descriptions, the FAQs, the blogs, I mean, we have just, it's blown up. One of the things, I mean, I know basic HTML, right? I've always been on the fringes. I can understand JavaScript. I actually did a course in some other coding, but can't remember what it is. So I'm dangerous, right? But I still do understand where to take it out, what to do, fiddle around with it. With AI, I can now pop it into AI and say, hey, can you code this for me for Shopify language, which is liquid, which is fabulous, right? And the CSS, and make it sure it's mobile responsive. So it's like, boom, whereas I used to sit for days and research and how do I write this again? And so I can just immediately do things myself, which I couldn't do before, it is so amazing. But because it's so new still, you know, and especially because people are just starting to get into it. Obviously, if you've been in the business and you business coaching or writing or whatever, we've all been very excited about it. But if you're an owner just starting on AI, getting excited about it is very difficult not to actually just boom, pop things, grab things from AI and pop them into your website.
Yeah.
But that's a huge no-no, right? Because in the first place, if I read something from AI, I go, who is this? You know, this must be written by an idiot because it is not personal. It is it uses words that I have to look up, right? So trying to build your content and everything where it actually makes sense to your customers, right? My 6-year-old has to read it, so that's where you have to look at. But again, you know, it is, I can't say how absolutely amazing it is going to be, or it is, to actually write content and get people enthusiastic about writing content. Because every time I do a free workshop on Mondays, I've got about 10 people in there every Monday. And so yeah, I've been hammering on blogs for years because there's one thing that you can attract people to your website, right? You pop it out there, it comes back to you. If I start talking about blogs, they go boom, 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 they're out of my workshop. They're like, I mean, I don't want to hear. But if they have been doing it, and they've been steadily writing about it and increasing their content and increasing the length of their blogs, the best traffic they've seen is to their blogs, which means that their sales go up as well, right? Because people pop in, they see your products, and you start selling. Plus, you're solving somebody's problem, and but again, you know, AI. I mean, just emails. You know how hard it is to get a email header for your newsletter. It's like, oh Lordy, for me that's the hardest thing. But now with AI, you just pop it in there and it gives you several suggestions and you go, this is not good enough. Okay, give me some more, right? And you immediately, within 5-10 minutes, you got something that you can use. And what I do is I always personalize it, or I change the words here and there. So AI, people think it's so new. As I said, I did Grammarly 2021 with,
Yeah.
with my book. I live on a boat, by the way, if you haven't noticed. And so there's a guy across the road, across the dock here from us. He's a software engineer. He developed AI in 1985.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been around. I mean, people go a little bit freaky, but obviously, like with anything online, it's like like e-commerce. I would say in 2011, 2010, 2011, big brands weren't online.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I had a Nigeria lady that lived in New York, used to buy sales stuff from big brands when they do the big sales, pack them up, ship them to Nigeria, have them online where people will buy them. So, but within 2-3 years, it disappeared because everybody went online.
Mm-hmm.
So that as in everything that's technology, it like starts slowly, and then just does that, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with AI. I mean, it's moving so fast right now. Google came out with Vlogger. Have you heard about it?
No, I have not.
Oh, you can create a video now with an avatar that looks natural. They actually move their body, and it actually looks real.
Mm-hmm.
So, and people go, oh my God, this is bad, blah, blah, blah. My point is now people like, I can say all my customers, right? I do not have one of them that will go online and do a live. Not one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in front of TV, but they have to be, because this is how they get to know or the customer gets to know them and feel comfortable and come and buy. But now they have the opportunity to put their words into a video that they can put out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even just being like a influencer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have somebody representing your company, and they can use that and actually benefit from that type of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
blogger, yes, it's new, but
Yeah, I've seen some of that before. It was about a year ago I saw some. It was pretty choppy then though, and I just recently saw some with an advertising company that was this is really promising, because you look at things like television advertising,
yes,
and you look at, okay, if I'm going to produce a television commercial, I'm going to have people in it, I'm going to do that, it's going to take us edit time, it's going to do all this stuff. I'm still a proponent of the fact that speed surpasses quality at a
yes,
certain point.
yes,
And we don't, while we, people that are my age can understand what old television commercials are like. But now when you look at the vast majority of the buying public,
yeah,
they're used to YouTube, they're used
mm-hmm.
to, TikTok, Instagram, and that video quality, while it might be high resolution, it's not produced. It doesn't have to be produced. So we can, if I'm going to do say I'm going to do an ad of some sort of video
Mm-hmm.
ad, and I can generate 10 of them in
Mm-hmm.
4 hours using AI that are pretty good, or it's going to take me 4 weeks to generate one good one, and it's going to cost me $10,000 to do that one good one, or it's going to cost me $500 to do the
Mm-hmm.
4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins?
Mm. and
Who
and you
wins?
and the videos are getting shorter, so nobody
Yes.
really notices, right? Because you have to get that message in the first 1 second, right?
Yep.
1 second. You have to do something different. And so if you're not that way inclined, what are you going to do? You're going to really lose out. And always talking to my customers about take little short videos. I've got a lady that sells heavy steel brackets that her husband and her father-in-law actually weld in the shop. I said, go and take a video of those,
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's fascinating, right? Everybody will watch it, right? So those little things, and it has to be just instantaneous, like quick, put it in. Oh, here's another one. So if I don't think if you can hear any noise, but if I was in my main salon, I have a really old, this is an old boat, really old, I need to say vacuum cleaner, but air conditioner, really loud air conditioner. I can now do a live and take the noise out instantaneously. It's called Veed.io. I'm in love again, right? I mean, it's just brilliant. Or you use Opus to chop your videos in small pieces. I've never done it because it's like, who the hell has time to do that? Right?
Yeah.
Right? So that for me is like, I'm just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Right? So, but even the little things like, for me, chopping the video up so I can have the people that work for me actually, oh, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. That's what I need to do. Or you send it to a customer. You go, hey, or client, right? Hey, this is how you need to click on this and this and this, because they talk to me and go, okay, how do I do this again?
Yeah.
Because they don't remember, right? They don't remember.
Yeah. Well, we got Inger's here too. She said, happy Thursday.
Hey, Inga, yes. I was chatting to her today as well. Fabulous.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
We were talking about merch, right? And so I'm in love with e-commerce. I love e-commerce because it's just business and you can sell stuff. Anybody can have merch on their website. Just think beyond t-shirts. So if you have a business like Inga, right, and you are coaching and consulting, then you can have journals, you can have cups, those little things that it's not really where you're going to make a lot of money, but it just enhances what you are. You're giving your customers more stuff, right?
Yeah. That's a great point. And something that I don't do well, but it's true. I know.
I come up with so many ideas. I'm actually writing my new book. Is going to be a little bit different.
Okay.
It's going to take, I thought it was going to be finished, but it might take another 2 months. I had all these ideas and I've been collecting them, I've been pinching them, I've been curating them, of how to promote your company, right? Retail and e-commerce. So I've actually created it, I'm creating it, and I'm expanding on it to say why it's good, how to implement very briefly, right? Little bits and pieces and examples. And I've come up to 179 ideas already. But it
Nice.
it's like, I need to finish this book, But it's just that you need to know all these little things that you can do with your business. And when we're talking about local business, right? So you're a business person, you're an online business, 179, yeah. You're an online business, e-commerce. You have children. Sponsor the team with t-shirts, right? Now you've got these kids that are going to grow up and earn some money, but you have the parents and the grandparents that love you because you gave the t-shirts. I mean, we know silent auctions, connecting with with the Chamber of Commerce, which I haven't done, by the way, but not down here. In Houston I did. But it's just those little things that you need to be reminded of, hey, oh, this is a great idea. So anyway, this is my new book. It'll be out in 2 months, I hope. I'm really working hard on it. And it's just going to give you lots and lots of ideas of communicating with your customers and sponsoring a TV night or a movie night at your retail business, right?
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, Veronica, it's always a pleasure talking with you. And before we leave, what's the best way if someone wants to talk to you? I mean, because you are the quintessential, in my mind, the expert that I go to talk to about Shopify and these kind of things. So how can people get a hold of you if they want to?
Well, obviously, website veronicajeans.com. I'm online. I love Messenger. I'm on WhatsApp. Anyway, yep, LinkedIn. Right. So veronicajeans.com. I'm moving from Shopify Queen to Ecommerce, but that's my new brand, as they say. We have to move around and pivot, right? Because I have to sell more books. This is all about the books, by the way. So I can actually sell books more on the e-commerce side, because one thing I've discovered is Amazon, when I did my first book, Amazon was selling it with all my competitors, and I thought, oh, no. So I quickly put out another 2 books. So it was, they recommended my 3 books to the guys.
Yeah.
You got to be up ahead, right?
That's the way to stay ahead of it.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for being here today, Veronica. And Veronica, Ecommerce Queen, Shopify e-commerce expert. I want to thank Dr. New, Inger, Paul for stopping by, Inger for all the awesome comments. Thank you so much. And if you got into this late and didn't listen from the beginning, go back to the beginning, start there, because Veronica was dropping a lot of valuable information if you are in e-commerce, thinking about e-commerce, and especially if your e-commerce is B2C. So just go back and listen to that. Veronica, hang out. We'll finish up offline. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back again later.